All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Whittlin Jack from Flexcut. It's a knife that I've had for about 4 years now, so I'm just now getting around to making some videos. When I was shopping for knives, I always watched videos just to see how actual people handled them. All those pictures always make it look good, and those measurements can be hard to guesstimate, but I figured, why not? I always wanted the videos, and now maybe I'll just make some. So this is the longer knife that it has, so you can see it's about as big as my finger. They come really sharp. I mean, it's Flexcut. I feel like the knives are pretty good at coming in sharp, and this is a smaller knife. It's probably about half the length, though I try not to open both knives at the same time, because that's kind of asking for a cut, but I'll do it for the video so you can see the size difference. Definitely the small one is small and the big one is not huge, but definitely great for getting a reach. I mean, if you're whittling, you're not trying to do too much anyway. I'm just going to use, this is the way I try to safely put them down, is pressure, keep your fingers out of the way. I use the small one a lot, so let me talk about that one first. I find it really handy. You get two knives, you toss it in the backpack. I like to be able to take my stuff to go, and it's pretty sharp, like I said, and it holds a good edge. When I first got it, I did not strop this as well as I should have, and so it's taken me a little bit of time to get it back to a comparative level of sharpness. So I would say if you're looking to get one of these, or if you're buying it new, it's worth asking how the person, used, it's worth asking how the person maintained the blade, just because obviously any knife can get really dull really quick, and you might be adopting a project as opposed to buying a knife. So small one is great because of its size. I've never had to get closer to the blade than probably this. So I've never felt like I have to really inch up on it. It's got this great little marker right here where I think my middle finger really tends to rest, so it's an excellently placed and shaped blade. In my opinion, you can see how as you clamp over, everything seems to fit pretty well. It's one of their, I think, the Flexcut tools. I have the Flexcut spoon knife over here. They kind of follow the same thing, so if you have other knives with a similar handle, you'll know to some extent what you're in for if you're looking at getting this. Like I said, great for doing the smaller stuff. This is really dry black cherry wood, so this is a spoon I kind of forgot about, so I'm just been working on it. I had a little chip in the blade. I think probably had some grit from either stropping compound or who knows what else, that was putting lines in the wood, but it came out real easy after stropping it for only a little bit amount of time. This knife is good for getting in up close, and then it gets nice and fine at the tip, where if you're doing fine little details, I've never felt like I needed a smaller, more fine tip like on a regular Sloyd knife, where sometimes you get the super skinny tip at the top. I've never felt like this didn't get me to where I wanted to be. In the situations, granted, like when you have your whole kit, then you'll just switch over to what you want. But like I said, for taking in a backpack, for camping, for on the trail, it's good for just keeping in your pocket if you know you're going picnicking for the day or whatever. Really versatile knife to take with you for if you're doing smaller stuff. So yeah, so that's the smaller knife. You can see that's the dry cherry. This is fresh. This is wet. So this will just kind of an awkward grab. It's kind of a weird chunk of wood, going to be a coffee scoop that I didn't rough out nearly as much as I should have. So that's that. I would say it's a little tough to push the blade in. That's if I had to pick one complaint, I don't know why. It's just always been like that. But a little tough to put it in. You got to be gentle when you're taking it out, because like I said, they're really sharp. I haven't really cut myself many times. So big blade, very much the same thing, just larger reach. So gets a little skinnier at the tip. You can kind of see how it's rounded, just a little bit, not nothing too significant, but it's good. Like if I was going to try and come down this whole thing, I could reach across the whole thing. It would be a little bit more difficult with the smaller knife. So good at taking those long peeling cuts out. It's just got a really sweet bevel. And once again, when you're going for a knife like this, you're going for a little bit more of a compact, diverse. You're not going for like the best per se in any category besides diverse. You can still make the close-up cuts too, so a little trickier when you're working out this far out, so that's when I usually switch over to small one. But anyway, so that's the Whittlin Jack. I recommend it. Really tough construction. Like I said, I've had this for about 4 years. Nothing's loose. It feels just a little weird. They made the wood inlay here, and it's definitely not completely level in terms of you can feel the ridge of the casing, but that doesn't bother me too much. It doesn't really create any issues. It doesn't hurt, doesn't scratch. But just something that I did notice when I got it. I was a little surprised. I thought it'd be a little bit more I don't know, smoother, but nothing that's bothered me over the years. Just something I noticed. But yep, so pretty firm, pretty diverse, and great little knife to use. Definitely one that I take around. So it's the Whittlin Jack.